know what one of the greatest fucking scripts ever written in the history of Hollywood is?
What?
Top Gun.
In 2015, the United States Library of Congress selected Top Gun for preservation in the National Film Registry. The Library of Congress cited the film for its influence on future filmmakers and for catapulting Tom Cruise to the top of the Hollywood A-list. But if this movie is going to be selected by the National Film Registry as culturally significant, it has to be important, right? It has to mean something, right? It couldn't all just be about fighter jets and their pilots. So, what are the filmmakers actually trying to say to us? Fortunately, there's this indie movie called Sleep With Me, in which Quentin Tarantino talks at length about the meaning of Top Gun. Hopefully, by listening to this, we're going to get a little bit more insight into why Top Gun is so important, and hopefully learn more about what the filmmakers are trying to tell us with Top Gun.
Guys waving their around.
It is a story about a man's struggle with his own homosexuality. You've got Maverick, all right? He's on the edge, man. He's right on the line, all right? And you've got Iceman and all his crew.
Right.
They're gay. They represent the gay man. Kelly McGill, she's heterosexuality. She's saying, no. Go the normal way. Play by the rules, go the normal way. He goes to her house, right? All right. It looks like they're going to have sex. You know, they're just kind of sitting back. He's taking a shower and everything. They don't have sex. He gets on the motorcycle, drives away. She's like, what the f is going on here?
Right.
Next scene you see her, she's in the elevator. She is dressed like a guy. She's got the cap on. She's got the aviator glasses. She's wearing the same jacket that the Iceman wears. A real ending of the movie is when they fight the Migs at the end. All right, because he has passed over into the gay way. They are this gay fighting force, all right? And they're beating the Russians. The gays are beating the Russians, all right? And it's over, and they land, and Iceman's been trying to get Maverick the entire time. Finally, he's got him.
So, Quentin Tarantino reads the film's narrative to be about representations of homosexuality and heterosexuality and a gay man's struggle between them. Therefore, the director is trying to communicate a message about sexuality to his audience, and he does this by creating characters that stand as representations of sexuality. Now, I'm willing to bet that the scene is intended to be a joke, but there seems to be a lot of people that take this interpretation seriously. But why? Once you watch the film, even a surface-level reading of Maverick and Charlie's relationship causes this interpretation to fall apart. It's very clear from the outset that Maverick is interested in a relationship with Charlie, and beyond that, even right after the scenes that Tarantino mentions, they have an intense makeout session. It's seen as a victory for Maverick to get with Charlie. So the idea that Charlie is something for Maverick to be running away from doesn't really hold up to scrutiny all that well. I think what makes this theory so compelling is Quentin Tarantino's approach to breaking down the narrative. Let's try using his approach, but maybe coming at it from a more honest and serious angle. The first scene of the movie shows Maverick doing crazy stunts and disobeying orders. Demonstrating his flying prowess, Maverick, along with his co-pilot Goose, end up going to the Top Gun flight school, but not before Maverick is warned to watch his recklessness. Throughout the course of the film, Maverick is constantly reminded by his instructor and his rival, Iceman, that he is too dangerous, even though he is a great pilot. He is told that he abandons his team, and despite his skills, he endangers them. This problem culminates when Maverick, trying to break away from his team in order to shoot down another plane in a training exercise, goes into a spin. Maverick survives being ejected from the cockpit, but his co-pilot and best friend Goose dies. Maverick sees firsthand what his recklessness and his selfishness leads to. When he comes back, the newly trained pilots are thrust into a situation where they will have to fight enemy pilots. By working together with Iceman and the other pilots, Maverick finally succeeds. They win the dogfight, return home, and Maverick is a hero. Having learned everything that he needed to learn about cooperation, Maverick chooses to become a Top Gun instructor, presumably to coach other aspiring pilots to work together. Using Tarantino's style of analysis, Maverick is a man who needs to learn to work together and cooperate with his other pilots. Iceman and the other pilots represent cooperation. Goose, his co-pilot, someone he's supposed to cooperate with, dies because Maverick chooses instead to be a maverick. So there you have it. Top Gun is a movie about cooperation and one reckless man's struggle with learning about it. The director communicates this to us in numerous scenes throughout the movie, and there are even conversations specifically about how Maverick needs to learn to cooperate. But this doesn't really explain it all, does it? In fact, I completely glossed over Maverick's relationship with Charlotte. She seems to fall in love with Maverick, but not despite his recklessness, almost because he was reckless. In this case, Maverick is rewarded for being reckless, both in his flying and in his relentless pursuit of his flight instructor. It's a major part of the film that I really can't explain with my analysis. I suppose it would be easy to chalk it up to a mistake in the director's communication, just a failure to communicate, because I can't really find a reason why this would be the case. At least, not by looking within the film itself. There's another reason that I didn't mention for why Top Gun was selected for the National Film Registry. When the movie came out, there was a large spike in recruitment for the US Navy. Navy recruiters would set up booths outside of theaters to promote recruitment for the Navy. And in order to get special discounts on the use of planes and aircraft carriers, the Top Gun filmmakers had to get approval for their script by the Pentagon. So if the Navy had a vested interest in this film, was it just kind of being used as a recruitment tool? Maybe Charlotte falls in love with Maverick because Maverick is cool. He's cool for being a pilot, and cool pilots get hot chicks, and they ride around on cool motorcycles. And maybe all of the homoerotic imagery in the film is really just hyper-masculinity that's played up so hard that it comes off as a little gay. So now we have 3 readings of the film. Maverick is struggling with his homosexuality. Maverick needs to learn to cooperate. And Maverick is just supposed to be a badass. So while we can use Quentin Tarantino's methodology and apply it to a film's narrative, sometimes that isn't enough. And when that isn't enough, it's necessary to look outside of the film's narrative to try and understand what the filmmakers are trying to communicate. Reading the film's narrative, I think that the film is about Maverick's need to learn how to cooperate. While I think, for the purposes of storytelling, using Quentin Tarantino's type of analysis to analyze the film's narrative is important, I also recognize that sometimes looking at a film itself is not the only way to interpret the film's meaning. After all, when thousands of people applied for the US Navy after watching Top Gun, they didn't really seem to care about either mine or Quentin Tarantino's narrative analysis of the film. And frankly, I don't think that the US Navy cared about that analysis either.
To reach for something bigger, to master a more challenging world, to feel the confidence and pride of knowing who you are, what you can do. Show the world your U.S. Navy. Live the adventure. Call 1-800-327-NAVY.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I hope it was entertaining as well. I'm going to be making a lot more of these soon, hopefully. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon so that you'll know the next time I release a video. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you disliked the video, please leave a thumbs down and a comment for why you disliked the video. I'm looking forward to chatting with people soon. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.